Okay.
So John Riptravis, are you there or are you just listening? I don't see a picture. Are some people just
Don't
stalkers?
tell me John is technology challenged.
I doubt it. What I see is, I just don't see a picture.
Oh, look, there's John Hart, Colorado.
Hi, John Hart, Colorado. We say hello. We say hello.
Thanks, John.
Top of the page.
I have to figure out how to do that. But hello, everyone.
What's the
Hello,
matter?
everyone. Hi, John.
Hi, John.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Glad to be here.
Anyone
Hi,
allergic to
Cassie.
cats?
Everybody's looking at Cat, I hope.
Good to see everyone.
Okay, does everybody, what time?
We're at the start. There you go.
Okay. Well, on the website, you said something about 7:15, which made it a little confusing.
Yeah,
Why?
So do we want to, was that to give people 15 minutes to get signed on?
I don't
We're
know.
up to, we're up to 43.
Eric did the website.
I'm not going anywhere.
43?
Well,
This is
actually,
amazing.
well, a few of us, I'm signed on twice.
I'm signed on twice.
Yeah. 'Cause
Uh-oh.
we've also got it on our TV. Oh, in fact, let me set the
Dartmouth's
TV.
signed on twice.
Yeah. Yeah, because we've also got a big TV in the
Hi,
same room.
Lucy.
That's not paid.
Okay, I'm gonna start a little, people come in at 7:15, that'll be fine. So, I am going to show some of the old 3D news for people who don't get it, kind of make it familiar with it. So let's open that up. Let me get that before I share.
Hmm.
You're enjoying this.
I wish I could see it better.
You need your
Do I have
glasses.
to do anything to see everybody else? I only
Sorry?
see 5 others.
Really?
Jim, change it from the
Right.
drop down on there to everyone at the top.
Actually, I
Which
should go to,
drops
You
down.
may have it saying view camera.
Yeah.
Change it to view everyone, and it will put everyone in a
Sometimes-
box.
Sometimes on a
It says
tablet.
view
or a phone,
webcams
it's-
all.
Small box. Little pinhole.
I've got it set to all.
Does it
I only
does it
see-
unmute if you hit the space bar, if you mute yourself?
You need to resize the window then, Jim. You can resize that up and down, and it will...
How do you do that on an iPad? Does an iPad resize?
Can't hear anything.
No, not again, iPad, Jim. Sorry.
Derek.
Maybe I'll go upstairs and try to get on my other computer.
Yeah, this is, maybe it's a little better.
If you're at the right
See if I can
distance.
get in there.
There we match.
Yeah.
We're seeing your screen, Steve.
Are you on a... Oh, you're on a... never mind.
Now. Okay, could we, how do we mute everybody but the presenter?
Yeah, I'll do that right now. All right, so I've muted everybody. Steve, you want to unmute yourself, Steve? Just click.
Okay, can you hear me?
Now we can, yes.
Okay. Hey, everybody, welcome to our first virtual meeting of the 3D Club of Southern California. I'm going to show you our 3D news for those of you who haven't read it. I think we can unmute now as long as people know just to kind of chat. Oh, so much delay. Okay, you can all hear me. This is the 3D News publication, and I'd like to thank David Richards. He was the first person who thought of having this as a virtual meeting. So at first I thought, maybe, maybe not. And we started it, we announced it, which was over a month ago. And now we're doing it. So I'm excited about that. A lot of other people have done it before us. and they all did an excellent job. So we kind of took a lot of their ideas. I think the first was John with the New York Stereoscopic Society. They did a nice half-hour one and a 45-minute one that I attended. Those were both really good. And Ohio did one. I couldn't get off work early enough for that, so I didn't get to enjoy that. This is our 3D news here. And see if we can scroll down. So this comes out every month. It's online. This is our announcement. This is our 3D Club members. If you haven't hearing anything, I guess you're going to have to wave.
Put a message in the chat window.
Okay, online meeting. This is where we found. This is our new members.
They can put a
This
message
is
in the
a
chat window too, Steve.
Okay.
Fine, Sarah. What the hell, Lord?
Here's an article by David Starkman. And we'll go ahead. This is kind of an average article. We always have Lawrence Kaufman, who won a couple awards in our last thing. Hopefully that's getting bigger for everybody. We have live links in it. This is about 3D rarities and a new DVD coming out of 3D rare videos. This shows test scans, and I don't know if John Ripkalvis is online, but this is some work he did on Harry Potter back in the old days. So take a look at that. Let me give this enough so give you a little time to take out your 3D glasses and take a look at that. Let's see if John's
Are
here.
we supposed to be able to see your screen, Steve?
Yeah. You haven't been able to see my screen the whole time?
Oh,
You may,
I guess
you may need to.
I had all the people on. My bad.
Okay. There you go. Everybody can look at that. This is like early in the conversions. This must have come out like in the 80s. Lawrence, can you unmute yourself and tell us a little bit about the movie? Lawrence Kaufman. Wake up, Lawrence.
He's got to
Might be
figure
muted.
it out.
You got to find that unclick mute thing.
The movie,
Yeah.
the original Harry Potter movie, they converted it. They were going to open it in China. Oh, Cassie's feedbacking.
I'm sorry, I quit.
And then this virus slowed things up a little bit.
Oh, okay. So this is a different conversion done earlier. Another thing we do is Dear John letters from John Ripkalvis. This time, usually he has questions. If you have any questions for John, he's a stereoscopic image consultant. Okay, I'm going to mute. I think that's... Somebody's playing the cello in the background. Can you mute everybody?
Oh, sorry. That's my kid. He's practicing.
We also have 3D TVs available for everybody. In the club, our competition information. And there's some side-by-sides if anybody brought a side-by-side viewer. Oh, this is international competitions. Second on each. So it's a pretty lengthy publication. This comes out every month. Here's a very nice Fantagram by Barry. We usually have one or two of these in every issue. This shows how to view images.
I'm here.
Most of, who's that?
Barry.
Barry.
Oh, Barry, you want to talk a little bit about this?
Okay, sorry, I just hopped in. Well, they're Fantagrams. It's mentioned, and if you guys could get the image of the week, then in walking around, in walking around in my neighborhood, one of my neighbors had put out rolls of toilet paper with little planters in them, just the sign that said, "Please take one." So that was kind of nice. And then pretty much just in that, don't think quite the same yard, a couple doors down, I got that iris shot that you see that I'm very happy with.
Yeah, these are cross-eyed in case anybody's trying to preview them.
Yeah.
Okay, now we go into an article about 3D Legends Hall of Fame. And this is started by David Starkman, actually Susan Hitsky, I'm sorry. And Susan, we're going to have you take it away. So if you could share your screen, and you can talk about your website.
All right, just got the mic on. And let me see about sharing the screen here. And
Excuse me, Steve, could you mute everybody other than who's speaking? Thank you.
let me close that.
Actually, David, can you do that? David Richardson? Thank
Yes,
you.
if I do that, then David Starkman needs to unmute himself, but I'll go ahead and mute everybody. So now everybody should be muted, and David Starkman.
All right, I'm unmuted.
You're good.
All right, we're good. Hold on a second. Now, you're seeing it on screen now. And let me go to full screen. All right. You guys all see it?
Great.
Okay. So this is Susan's creation.
This has been my goal since I got into 3D, is to have a tribute to some of these phenomenal people who have come through our lives. First and foremost, Ray Zone, and many of these others.
So just hold on, let me move this far out of the way. So if you go to 3dlegends.com, this is the page it takes you to, although this homepage explains it, but we thought it was better to take you straight to where the people are. But this page gives a little background on the site itself.
And if you click on anything, it'll get bigger.
Yeah. Well, let's do it on, wait, let's go back to the Hall of Fame. And we'll use Ray Zone as an example.
That's always good.
Because everybody here probably knows him or about him. Although we've got Stephen Rochway, it's another great one. And I don't know about the rest of you, but since, especially the last few days, internet's been running a lot slower than it used to for us. Here we go.
It's because everybody is using the internet all the time.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Oops, hold on. So this is an enlarged image, but so this is Ray's page. And if you'll notice with any of the photos, so Susan shows the left, right, left format, so you can parallel or free view. We know they're small, so any one of these pictures, sorry, cross-eyed, what am I saying? Anyway, any one of these pictures, if you hold the cursor over it, it'll turn into a little hand. If it doesn't, let Susan know, because it means she's overlooked one step. But she's done this to all the pictures. Then if you click on it, again, it's running slow, then it'll bring it up full screen. For left, right, starting at the left end and right, left from the middle to the right. So cross-eyed or parallel.
On every picture.
Yeah, on every picture, including the flat pictures. So.
Because I figured everybody wants to see all the details.
Yeah. So Susan has created this using Wix, which is a free software from Google, and it's also being hosted by Google.
And thank you, Eric, very much for putting it on the club website so quickly.
Yeah.
With a link. Thank you very much.
So we're showing this partly also to promote it, but we're the archivists for the club. We've been building up a big file of digital images from the past and present. And we invite any club members, send digitized versions of your photos to Susan at, which one do you want to use? Archive Susie?
Archive Susie, whatever you whichever you want, AOL or Gmail.
Yeah, she's got an AOL and a Gmail. I think the Gmail is on this website. And eventually we want to do something like this, or where Susan where we'll archive images of the club and stories about the club or past articles. And
but if you see anything that I got wrong, please let me know. I'm trying to make this as correct as possible. I'm open to ideas, suggestions, corrections, as long as I know what you're talking about. I'll be happy to try.
Hey, Susie, can I make a suggestion?
Yes, please.
At the top of the page, if you go to
Yes.
the very top there.
Yeah.
oh, wait a minute. I just want to enlarge one of the pages, the first page of Battle for a Three-Dimensional World, which Ray Zone wrote.
Let him.
All right,
finish
well,
what
let
he
me go back to the top of the page. It'll take a second.
Yes.
Hold on. Again, it's kind of going slow today.
I know the text. Yes.
I know this is technically correct, but it says Ray Zone dead at 65. How about if you say
Yeah.
Legend at 65?
That sounds good. I'll change that. That's a great suggestion. Thank you. I was just copying what this guy, Chris Chinnick,
I understand,
wrote.
but it's like, you know.
I agree. I agree.
I'd
I'll
rather
change
be
that.
positive than say, oh, this is why they're on this page.
I think that's a great suggestion. Thank you very much.
Okay.
If I forget to do it, remind me, but I will try to remember.
Absolutely.
I'll even but I'm anything like that, please.
Oops.
Some things are small.
If the original was small, unfortunately, but there's very few like that.
But that's Lawrence and Cassie.
Yeah, with Ray in the front row. Anyhow, so that's it. I don't know if you want to turn the mics back on for any questions.
Yeah, I'll open up the mics.
Okay.
I've unmuted the mics for everybody now.
So if anybody has any more pictures, I don't have enough for anybody.
Susan can't get enough pictures.
No. And I do give credit to everybody. And so if I've got, as I said, if I've got something wrong, let me know.
Yeah, and thanks to Ray Moxham, Susan just finished
No, I haven't finished.
She's not finished, but she's been working on an Alan Griffin page.
I'm working on an Alan Griffin page, but today is.
Looking at that, it looks very good, actually.
Yes, Susan, great job.
Thank you. Oh, well, that's one of his shots in the back.
There he is.
Yep, that's Alan.
But
Susan with Alan and Judy. And he was a great photographer. This is one of his classics.
that is.
You guys want to take a minute to look at it in 3D?
Oh, that's nice.
I will.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah.
St. Louis, for those of you who might not have been there yet.
Yeah,
You can go up in that arch.
I think, you know, Ray Moxham can correct me, but from our standpoint, back when we were all using stereo realists or something like that, Alan was one of the first to really get into, or turn us all on to using twin SLRs. And because of the Konica FS1 camera, which was motorized and had an electronic cable release. And he got a lot of us started doing twin camera work with that and wrote articles about it. And his own photography was just
Brilliant.
spectacular.
Yes.
Here's one of his action photos. Anyway, so there's a ton of stuff on this site, and she's still got lots more that she's been adding. But I guess we're all sheltering at home. This is what she's doing all day.
Every day, all day long,
Yeah.
middle of the night.
If you like vintage photography, look at the George Mann page. He took lots of stuff in the 1950s. mostly Southern California stuff. But if you like old coffee shops and
Anyway,
Just-
they'll,
anyway,
you
you'll
know
see.
it's there.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Eric put the link up in the chat.
Okay.
Right, Eric?
Yeah, I put the link in the chat. You can go into the chat and click the link there, or you can go to the club website, and it's also on the main page there.
Thank you very much, Eric. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. So
We're happy to share it.
Eric, speaking about that website, do you mind taking a little time now to show us the club website?
Sure, I
should
can bring that up.
should I log off here? Screen sharing?
No, Eric can just take it when he's ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Let me
okay.
know when you're ready, Eric.
All right, well- This slide means a lot to me.
David.
Well, are you ready, Eric?
Yeah, I'm ready whenever you are.
All right.
Well,
Well,
see the slide.
We've got David Starkman sharing right now. Are you wanting to
That's
share,
right.
Eric, or are we having
Hold
David
on.
share?
well, the Wang Q was the childhood Chinese restaurant my parents took us to when I was a kid. And it was on Pico Boulevard, near Pico and Robertson. And I just was thrilled to see this particular image.
The building is still there.
The building's still there, but all the Polynesian tiki stuff and the big tiki god is gone. But it was a really fantastic Polynesian Cantonese restaurant.
It's there in spirit.
Yeah. All righty, I'll turn it back. If Eric wants to take over, I guess we're done here.
Thanks, that was great.
All right.
Thank you.
You bet it.
Okay,
Eric,
I'll
all
share.
David Starkman, could you unmute? I'm sorry, David Coons, could you unmute yourself? I've muted it.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
All right, great.
And then you're not sharing, though. Oh, actually, is.
But do you want me to? I thought you were talking about Eric. Okay, no, I can share.
Not sharing
Yeah, I'm going to share. I didn't have the option yet. I can do it now. Give me just a second to find it. Okay. So the LA3D Club website is at la3dclub.com, and the website has been updated very recently to include the 3D Legends Hall of Fame that Susan and David were just talking about. So you can go to the club website, click the link here if you want to get to it through the website. The LA3D Club has been active continuously since 1955, and we're thrilled that so many of you have decided to join us here virtually tonight. If you'd like to support us and keep the club going, there's a couple ways to do it. You can become a club member. You can go to the club website, click on the membership, join the LA3D Club link. We have several options. Single membership is $30 annually. And a dual membership for everyone in the family, $40. If you just want to get the 3D News emailed to you every month, you can get that for a $20 subscription. The advantage of being a member is you also get to join in the club photo competition. And this happens to be, March was the photo competition month. We didn't have a meeting, but we decided to hold a competition anyway online, and we'll be taking a look at that in just a second here. I've actually set up a link on the club website for people who are interested in following along. We'll be sharing the competition entries in Anaglyph through GoToMeeting. If you'd prefer to view them as parallel or cross view, or you have 3D TV, or perhaps a passive screen to view it on, you can go to the link for the photo competition, and we're using an HTML viewer from Masuji Sudo. Thank you, Masuji. You can click an image, and it'll open up in your browser, and then you can select whether you want to view that as a parallel, a cross view. several different kinds of anaglyph. If you have a 3D TV that you're streaming to right now, you can choose a side-by-side squeeze format. I'm actually watching on a passive laptop. I can choose interlaced. So as we go through the competition entries, if you'd like to open up a browser window and follow along with David Koontz in whatever format you prefer, you're welcome to do that as well. And if anybody's got any questions about the club website, we try to keep it up to date, list whatever kinds of meetings we have coming up, whatever screenings and events the club's involved with.
Figure out how to go full screen. It is. I'm not ready yet.
Oh, and I should also point out, if you're watching the competition and you decide that you'd like to watch it full screen, say you're on a 3D TV, you can come down and then click on the full button, and it'll actually remove the rest of the browser and show it to you in full screen mode.
Ah, that's what we needed.
Cool.
You'll see.
So if you wanted to, you could, if you wanted to just cross view on your laptop, you could select cross view, click full, and then use these previous and next buttons to move through as David introduces the pictures as well. And as I said, you can join the club right through the website. We also, if you are already a club member and you'd like to help us keep going, we do have a donate button on the club website that helps us maintain the web hosting and all of that stuff. We appreciate your support.
Thank you, Eric. Very good. Koontz, David Koontz,
Hold on.
time for you to take over.
Other than suddenly my whole thing just went to junk. So hold on.
It's okay. We have backup plans.
Good, because my computer just, hold on, just give it a second. It's doing something weird. Oh yeah, it's crashing. Go ahead with.
We'll go with David Heiser. David, are you ready? David Heiser. David Heiser. Not John Hart. Hey, John, how you doing?
Yeah, hi.
Just crashing right now.
It's okay. Don't worry. We have plenty of other options. Okay, David Heiser is going to be presenter. He's going to show his. Are you ready, David?
Yes and no.
Hey, this is showbiz, man.
All right.
The study has to go on.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, my name's David Heiser, and I'm presenting because I've been building 3D cameras out of Raspberry Pi computers. And so and I have a couple entries in the people category. So I have quite a bit to cover, and I'm going to go through it real fast. So if you have any questions, I'd be glad to talk to people later on about it. Somewhere here I have contact information I'll put in chat.
Okay.
So, hold on. All right. Okay, so I've only been doing stereo photography kind of seriously for the last 3 or 4 years. But I started off when I was younger. I had an uncle who he was a photographer and a rockhound. Everybody see that now?
Yes, we're seeing it, David.
Okay. All right. He was a photographer and a rockhound, and all right. He took pictures of tiny little crystals mounted on pinheads. And I thought that was fascinating, and I've been wanting to do something like that ever since. So the thing that made a big difference for me was when digital photography came out. I had a little 3.3 megapixel Casio camera, and I took some pictures doing the stereo two-step. And then I had Photoshop, so I printed them out on cards and put them in a an old stereo viewer that I had. That's from an antique store. And I went to a lot of hot rod shows, a lot of car shows.
Oh, that car is pink.
Yeah, it's a very, very pink car. And so this is the viewer that I had. I had it for a long time, and I'd make these cards and put them in there. But then when the smartphones came out, I started putting them in digital format, and I made a little mount for the smartphone, and that was a lot easier. And then I could page through and show people this, all my pictures real easily, very easily. And I had a controller, and through Bluetooth, I could just flip this little controller to page through. Here's my cameras that I've made, and one that I haven't made yet. And I'll go through them really quickly. It sort of shows the evolution. But they're based on this Python, or on the Raspberry Pi computer. Now, this is a full-blown computer that runs with Linux operating system, and it programs in Python, or you can program in Python on this thing. It's really phenomenal. It was developed by a woman in England for mostly educational purposes, for people to learn about what they can do with computers. So it's got these input-output pins in the back that you can connect to just about anything and use it for robotics and all kinds of stuff. There's a bunch of these that have been sent up in the space shuttles for doing experiments that were created by school students. So this is a basic test setup. I have the computer and the camera, and then here's a test bench. So the computer is, I have the keyboard and mouse and monitor connected to the computer. And then this is an example of doing a test shot. And I used this to try programming, to understand how to program it to do what I wanted. The laptop, in this case, is connected through Wi-Fi, remotely connected. So I have the computer monitor and everything right here on the laptop, and that made it easier. Here's an example of the simplest little program. And this basically took a shot and saved it, and then I could bring it back on my computer and take a look at it. So I developed a circuit diagram, a schematic, how to connect the two computers together with their camera connected to each one, and a little touch screen connected to each computer as well. So I could program it. I could run the program through the touch screen. And this is part of the test development system right here, or this is an example. So I ended up with a program that looks like this. That's what I loaded up in that big computer. This one. This is what's what I call ears, and that's the front of the computer. Down here below the eyes, you can see where the cameras are. And on the back of the computer, I had the touch screens and a viewer, that same viewer, so that I could actually see the object in 3D before I shot the picture. And over here is the shutter. And then on top is a smartphone connected up to a microphone, so I could record audio. With video, I can record audio. So this is what the left touchscreen looked like, and I could tap either still or video, then continue. This is the inside. This is the guts of the camera. So here are the two computers mounted on the screens and all wired together. And then at the front of the camera was where the two camera modules were mounted. And I had this spring thing in the middle just to put tension on it so that they'd converge a little bit. And this is why I called it ears, because when I was shooting people, I was holding it by the ears. And this is what they saw. And I could put it on a tripod, and I had a remote shutter release. This picture, I kind of overcorrected on it. It's a little washed out, and I apologize for that. But that's one of the first pictures that I made. This is all in Balboa Park in San Diego. That's the koi pond in the Japanese gardens. This is an example of trying to capture motion. The cameras weren't synced very well. The computers weren't synced very well. I trigger them both at the same time, but because of the nature of the computers, they might be off just a little bit, maybe up to 10 to 50 milliseconds. So you can see a little bit of discrepancy in this picture. Sometimes it was dead on. I took this picture in the Model Railroad Museum in Balboa Park. I thought it was a great way to show off the stereo camera. I now have a video, and this has audio in it. If it's too loud, just yell at me. Could you hear that?
We could.
All right, here's another one. I don't know how I'm doing on time. I'll cut these kind of short.
The fish aren't making any noise.
Well, I didn't record sound on everything. It was really a pain in the ass to try to... Pardon?
I'm joking, they're fish.
Yeah, well, I didn't record sound on everything anyway, but I could have added bubbles. Let's see. So then I decided I wanted to make it more compact because I didn't want to carry that big thing around all the time. And Raspberry Pi also made a small version called the Raspberry Pi Zero. And it was basically the same thing, but it didn't have a lot of the peripherals on it, like Ethernet connections and all that. And it was a smaller or a lower powered processor. And they sold that for $5. As a matter of fact, they even gave away some of them free on their magazine. But you could go to Micro Center in LA and get one for $5. So I basically put together a circuit diagram. It was pretty much the same as the other one. All the connections are the same. And then put it together where I took the camera, or the computers, and sandwiched them back to back on a piece of plastic. And then mounted the camera modules on a piece of wood. Now these aren't the original camera modules. I usually used to have just regular ones on the front so that they focused on infinity, and they were about 2.5 inches apart. And later on I replaced them with these macro cameras. And then I had to attach Wi-Fi to it as well. And here's a battery pack. And here's a different view. And then I had an attachment to tell me where to put the subject, so it was about 6 to 7 inches apart and in focus. Or what? Here's one of the pictures that I took with it. I took a whole bunch of pictures with it, but I'm not going to show a bunch of them. I have another video that I took with that one. Here we go. Now I started this one off. You can actually see in the rear view mirror, side view mirror, this is that camera with the original modules on it. So there's no sound in this one either. No fish either.
These are all cross view, right?
Yeah, this is all cross view. I'm sorry. I shouldn't mention that.
They look great.
Thank you. All right. And then I took that camera and put it inside of a cigar box. I like cigar boxes. There's a place in Temecula, Old Town. It has lots of cigar boxes on racks out in front of the store you can get for like $2, $3, or $5. Here's some of the pictures I took with that one. And here's that same stuff added, put into a project box. So this is basically the same camera, but now it's all put into a nice compact and easy to handle camera box. So you can see here's the two computers and the camera modules in the front. There's all the same wiring. There's my shutter button. and I call that one Smiley. These are lens filters that I mounted on the front just to protect the cameras. And one day I found some makeup stuff in my wife's cabinet, and I don't know what it was all about, and I didn't ask questions, but I thought it'd make a great face on the thing, so I called it Smiley. And here's the backside where I can choose photo or movie. Here's some of the pictures I took with that one. I probably took maybe 1,000 pictures with this camera. The hardest thing about putting this presentation together was deciding what pictures to include. All right, now I got another. This is one of my favorite movies. It's 25 seconds long, but I'm going to let it play out. I want to repeat, I'm real happy to talk with people later on about this and set up a Zoom meeting if you want to and go into things more in depth. I'd be glad to help somebody if they want to try to do this themselves. Later on in the presentation, I'll show you that there's actually improvements in the technology that make it easier.
Okay, David,
yeah,
I just got note the competition's about ready to go. Do you want to maybe finish this towards the end of the meeting?
Sure. Yep. I'll just let that movie finish and I'm over and out.
Okay. David, are you all
Thank you. That was cool.
All right.
David Koontz, you should be able to just click on screen share, and then you should be able
to... All right.
Over.
Can everybody hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah. Fantastico.
You're not sharing yet.
Okay. What do I got to do? It says it's... Yeah, it must just be the internet connection. Okay, hello everybody. My name is David Koontz. I'm the competition director for the LA 3D Club. And even though we're meeting online tonight, we're going to have our normal club competition, and I'm going to try to recreate the experience of judging that we usually have when we get together in person. So we're going to see all the images that were entered this month. We're going to hear their scores, and the judges may even chime in with comments if they want to. And I've already started sharing my screen. We're going to show all the images this way in anaglyph format. So you're going to need the classic red cyan glasses to view those. I don't know if anybody can still see my video of me, but I'm holding up a pair of those if you can. As was indicated before, maybe I'll say it again because a bunch of people have come in since it was discussed. We've got, the one problem with anaglyph is you don't get full color rendition. So if you have other viewing devices available, like little lorgnettes for looking at side-by-side images, or if you're looking on a 3D laptop, or if you have the 3D TV available, we've got all the images loaded up in an HTML viewer on our website. Thanks to Andrew Park and Eric Kerwin for making that happen. So if you want to go to that, the links have already been posted for that in the chat window, or you can just go to la3dclub.com and you can follow along on that. And then you can display them in any format your heart desires. And they're in the same order, so you should be able to follow along with the competition as I read the scores. So I'm going to introduce our 3 judges for this month's competition, and maybe while I'm doing that, anybody who still hasn't gotten set up with the web-based images and who wants to can get looking into that. So after I introduce our judges, I want them to just say hello so that people will know who they are, assuming anybody's still looking at the video feed from everybody. I'm going to introduce our first 2 judges together since they are truly a stereo pair. It's Susan Pinsky and David Starkman. I think pretty much every person in the 3D universe already knows them, and even partially listing all of their affiliations and accomplishments would take the entire evening, if not more, so I'm not going to do that. Susan and David, you want to say hello?
Well, I'll say hello, and I have to apologize. Susan is ducking out for personal reasons at the moment, so it'll just be me.
Okay. All right, and our third judge is Lee Pratt. Lee's located in Madison, Alabama. He's actually an LA3D Club member, though, and has been for over 40 years. He hasn't been to that many meetings lately, but he used to come occasionally when he traveled to LA on business. And he's been heavily involved in other 3D groups, too. He's past president of the National Stereoscopic Association. He's been a very active member of the 3D division of the Photographic Society of America for years. Lee? We lost him.
You might have to turn on his microphone.
Hello, everyone. It's on. The images are coming in very slow to me, so I really may see the images later than you are seeing them.
Well,
They'll be on probably for 10 or 15 seconds, so I think you'll have hopefully you'll have ample time. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to show the images. I'm going to read the scores, and then if the judges want to comment, please wait until after I've read the score to do that. And then I won't advance, though, until after you've read the score. So do I need to give people maybe another 30 seconds or so before we start rolling to get everything set up, or shall I go right into it? The first things are the explanations about how the competition works anyway, so maybe I'll just launch right into that.
Yeah.
All right. We have 3 possible categories of images entered in one of our competitions. What we call standard is images that were photographed with a regular camera, either a 3D camera or cha-chas or whatever. We have CGI, which are computer-generated 3D images. We have nothing in that category tonight. And we have modified category. That is 2D to 3D conversions of artwork that was not created by the entrant. So it's a conversion of somebody else's work. We have 2 groups. We have an A group and a B group. And for the first time in a very, very long time, we actually have one entrant in the B group. And I guarantee he's going to win something since he's the only entrant. Everyone else is in the A group. Our judging is on a 5 through 9 scale. So each judge scores each image on 5 through 9, which means a total possible score of between 15 and 27. So 5 is worst, 9 is best, and every other number is something in between that. I think it's relatively self-explanatory, hopefully. All right, so let's get going. I'm seeing a very heavy lag between when I press the advance key and when things update. Like it just popped up now, the logo. Is that what happened for everybody?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to use that as my indicator of how long it's taking. So I'm going to launch into it. We're going to be here for a while. Hang on. Has the first image shown up for everybody yet or not?
There it is.
Okay, there we go. Right, just now?
Yep.
Okay, well then now I know when they're showing up. All right, so I think I'll start pressing the space bar earlier than I planned to. All right, scoring 7, 7, 6, 20. And again, if the judges want to say anything, I guess given the lag we're getting, chime in sooner rather than later.
Oh, I'll just say I like the slide, and you know it's nice. And to me, it's well, I think it was 777.
776 20.
Oh well, I think I gave it a 7. I can't speak for Susan, but I thought it was a 7, and but it's nice depth. Little through the window at the bottom edge, which is easier at the bottom than at the sides. Not as disturbing, but it's just a nice overall image. I like it.
Okay. 7, 8, 8.
Okay.
7, 8, 8. Sorry, I should have been. I wasn't looking at my screen to see how long it took to pop up.
Yeah. It's lagging on my TV. Let's see here. Well, I don't know how it looks anaglyph. I'm looking at it on our TV, and it's a very nice, you know, very good hyper, a lot of depth, and, you know, just overall very nice. Might be a bit extreme for anaglyph. Let's see.
777. Uh-oh, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I keep looking at my main screen.
Show the slide first.
Yeah, show it first. It's like, I feel like Karnak. I'm giving you the score before, and then I tear the envelope open and look at the image. 77721.
Well, all right.
You don't need to comment on every one. If you have something to say it.
You know, the score speaks for itself. If there's anything special, maybe one of us will talk.
Okay. Six, 7, 6, 19.
Yeah, well, I'll say probably the 6s are basically because the 3D is very nice, the exposure is good, but the center of interest, I don't know, you're seeing the back of everything, which isn't bad, but I don't know, it's just sort of, it's just more of a record shot. Oh, next. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, it's so laggy. Believe me, I pressed the button to go forward quite some time ago.
Yeah.
9, 8, 7, 24.
So is Lee muted out, or does he want to say something?
Somebody gave it a 9.
Lee made
Yeah.
unmute. Yeah, you got
Say
it.
something in a minute. The images are coming in so slow
Yeah.
that I'm going to have to look at them on a cell phone.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll comment. I mean, I don't remember exactly which score I gave it, but it's beautifully done. Again, I can't speak for the anaglyph. We've judged these, looking at them for me and Susan, it was on a 65-inch 4K 3D TV, and that's what I'm looking at it right now on. And,
Yes.
you know, it's a nice macro, or, you know, just a perfect amount of depth. The window around it gives it that extra little, you know, oomph 3D wise. So it just was very, very nice. You jumped ahead.
Yeah, because now I'm pressing it about a minute before I think you're going to stop talking, so it shows up when you actually do stop talking.
Well, then I'll move to the next slide.
Yeah. 7, 8, 8, 23.
Well, it's a nice close-up, nicely exposed, makes us all ready for dessert.
You forgot to say it was delicious, right?
It was a delicious slide.
Okay.
7, 7, 7, 21.
What are they looking at now?
You should see the dummy in the box, and then in a minute, I've already advanced it on my end in another few hours. Yes, there we go. We see it.
All right, well, I guess no comment on the dummy.
7, 7, 7, 21.
Well, this is just a fun shot, and what makes it is the floating ball. And, you know, Cassie, too.
All right, which way?
You move your finger from right to left.
Six, 6, 7, 19.
No, it's not for me. I can do
This
the
is when you
next.
can't appreciate it all in anaglyph, I'm afraid.
Well,
8.
again, looking at this on the 3D TV,
Yeah.
this is just a really, really nice, lots of depth, beautiful color, perfect exposure. In this case, I like the black background. It just makes the flower just pop right out. And It's just beautiful all around close up.
Score on this is 89926.
There you go.
You really need to see that one in color. Anaglyph is a terrible injustice. 77822.
Again, this is a nice close-up. I guess I would have liked the exposure. I don't know how it looks in the anaglyph, but the white, because the subject is white, I would have liked a little more darkness and contrast to see the detail of it better.
Eight, 24.
Well, this is just, to me, it's just a really fun shot. And I don't have a clue how you put that many pictures in one thing with what program, but I really liked it.
I think that's what they're looking at.
It is, but I don't know what my phone is on.
Me neither.
It's taken forever to
We're
load.
looking at the picture with a whole bunch of portraits all at once.
I was going to put it.
Hubble is now weighing in with his opinion. 78823. I'm going to keep these moving.
Go ahead.
Because it takes so long for each one to come up. It's literally about a 20-second lag. 77822. Seven, 21. Hurry up, Lawrence.
The pictures are coming in very slow to me. Describe the picture when you give the score.
You should be looking at a bunch of people looking at a moose.
Yep, I see it. It's a fun shot. That's an elk.
An elk, whatever. 77822. Yeah, they take up, there's literally about, I would say, a 20-second lag from when I advance them on my screen to when I see it come up on the share. And maybe it takes even longer to paint on your guys' side.
I'll just say on my...
Unmuted.
It's literally like 2 seconds.
Interesting. Well, yeah, but you don't know when I pressed the space bar. I just pressed it now, so you can see how long it'll take to hit the next thing.
I'm already looking at the next picture. There we are.
You could probably also pull out the slide number, like the clock is 18 to 45, for instance.
Right. 76619. Hi, Momo. Are you there?
Oh, did Momo join us?
She's been in and out a dozen times.
Momoko?
Yeah.
Great. We're up to 62 people.
Yeah. The best meeting we've had in decades.
Oh, we go next.
666. Lawrence, do you want to say it? it here. Mark of the Beast.
It's the Mark of the Beast. Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't sound as good when anybody else says it.
Don't forget he's technically challenged.
Okay.
All right.
66517.
I think the reason for the 5 here was I love car shots, but I think this is the only one in the whole group. If you look at the bottom edge and look at that amber turn signal and blink back and forth, you'll see how radically different the right and left are. It needed much better alignment.
The top edges are not square.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's definitely got some technical issues that could probably be corrected. And that would make it a much nicer slide.
Hmm. 66618. Mark of the Beast.
Interesting colors. It's a nice picture.
Seven, 22.
Yeah, I'll just say I like black and white. It's especially nice for a portrait, and yeah, it's a nice portrait.
Six, 19. The title of this is not Deliverance, but in my opinion it should have been. Or Squeal Like a Pig. 66719.
Refrain from a comment. It looks like you were having a good time.
Yeah, right. I was. I'm not sure about the pig.
Yeah.
New pig.
Seven, 20.
I kind of like this a little more than to me it was a little more than a record shot because it's kind of a slice of life of this event. And I just kind of found there was a lot of interest just checking all these kids, looking at whatever was going on.
This one you can't appreciate the color of an anaglyph, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
78621.
Yeah, well, in full color, it is beautiful. The lighting is just, it's a high dynamic range type of photo, and the lighting and everything is just beautiful. And then there's this amazing sky in it, so it's just a very nice picture. To me, the thing that I didn't like as much was the center of interest is just kind of a weird center of interest. Didn't grab me quite so much. I guess it's a petrified tree stump.
77721.
Can you move the cursor?
The mouse cursor is in the middle of the picture.
I moved it off. It is not even on my screen at all. Is it gone now or not?
It's, on mine, it's at the bottom right edge of the picture.
I'm not seeing any mouse cursor at all. That may be your own mouse cursor. You may
I was just going to say, I think it's yours because mine is off the screen.
Oh, mine's off the screen.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing any mouse other than my own.
Yeah.
Okay.
77620.
Way behind. Describe the image.
Ask him what.
It was a mountain trail, but I've already switched to the next one, and eventually you may even see it.
Oh.
Yeah, now we're on that. It's called spiked cucumbers. It should be fairly self-explanatory. And the score for it is 77721. Seven, 6, 7, 20.
I'll just comment again. I don't know about an anaglyph, but in full color, it's just a bit on the overexposed side. If it was darker and more saturated, it would be, a much nicer photo.
Seven, 7, 6, 20. Seven, 7, 8, 22.
Where is this?
Hawaii.
The Kona?
It's the title is Wailua Falls, Kauai, Hawaii. 6, 6, 7, 19. I think that may have been more a judgment on the people than the photograph itself.
Not really. I think it's a fun shot. And the only problem, I don't know what it was shot with, but if you look at the guy in the little booth in the background, it's just a bit out of sync. And there's some slight anomalies in other people that are, have moved just a little tiny bit. So the sync was a little bit off.
It was a cha-cha.
Is it a cha-cha?
Yeah.
Well, when you're trying to get
I brought a cha-cha.
that's
People
tough.
moved.
Yeah. Well, I commend you for trying a group shot, cha-cha, and getting everybody to stay still. It's not bad.
No, nobody stayed still. Everybody moved. The camera stayed still.
Very
Frank
good.
still. Frank stayed still. I didn't know I was supposed to stay still.
All right.
Scoring 5, 6, 5, 16.
Well, again, I think the main reason is this just is way through the window, close up. And I don't know if this could be realigned in Stereo Photo Maker to make it more easily, properly viewable. It might be a little too extreme on the depth range.
Scoring 6, 7, 6, 19.
Top left bothers us.
Eight, 24.
Well, it's just another beautiful flower close-up. I like the lighting and the black background. The previous one, which maybe was by the same maker, had a little more drama to it. But this is a beautiful slide.
777.
The problem here is the black dot right at the center is not the same in left and right.
You're talking about the flower.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry we have this lag in the viewing.
Yeah.
Oh.
8, 8, 7, 23.
I think just the special effect here is really wonderful, and it works, and it's just something different, and I really liked it.
Six, 7, 8, 21. Nine, 9, 8, 26.
Well, while we're waiting for Lee to hopefully see this, this is just, special effects like this in 3D are, more than 3 times as interesting than it would be flat, because the illusion is just so much more dramatic because of the reality of everything being in 3D and seeing through the legs of the table with no body being there. So that's a lot of fun. And then the enlargement looking through the window in the background adds even more drama to an interesting photo.
7, 8, 8, 23.
Sorry? Oh.
Whoops, what was that?
I think
it's very pretty. Nice shot. Yep.
7.
Please.
7.
Which one
7,
is it?
21. We're looking at the boardwalk through the meadow.
Are you seeing that now, Lee? I think Lee's a little behind us.
Yeah, he's in another state. That's the problem.
Well.
Takes a long time for the signal to get there to Alabama.
Okay.
4 years ahead of you in photography.
All right.
777, 21.
Well, it certainly got depth. And nice use of the window, going through the window. Oh, go to the next one.
775, 19. Eight, 8, 5, 21. All right, that concluded the standard category. Now we're going to see the modified group.
Wait a minute, if they have an 885, doesn't somebody have to comment when it's that far different?
It's just an example of, you know, judges can have widely different opinions.
5 generally means there's a technical problem with the slides.
998, 26.
Wait a minute, could you, oh well.
Next.
8, 9, 7, 24.
Well, these are all just, you know, it's just I love seeing these old images converted.
9, 9, 8, 26.
Where are these on the website?
What's the question?
Where are these on the website?
They're in a separate folder called Modified. You have to switch to another folder.
Which, could you give us a minute to do that?
The link is on the page that you've got to it from. So if you back out of the viewer, you'll see the page with all the thumbnails, and on that it says Modified category.
If you click in the menu at the top of the viewer where it says Return, you'll go back out to the screen that shows all of the images, and then you can select Modified.
Got it.
Got it.
788, 23. Eight, 24. Eight, 9, 25.
What's modified?
These are modified. And now we're going to see all of the images that were entered for the theme award, which was people. Because of the incredible lag on presentation, I think I'm just going to try to run through them all pretty much at top speed, which will probably still take a few minutes. So we'll just go through all of those.
And again, if you're following along through the website, go to the top of the viewer menu, click Return, and then select People.
So you've seen all of these images already, but we're seeing them again. They're all the ones that the entrants self-selected as being eligible for the People Award. Like I say, I'll run through them relatively rapidly because it takes so long for the screen to paint.
Are we supposed to comment?
No, because we've seen all of these before. This was a very popular theme award for some reason. Some of them seem to get more love than others, and this theme, people seem to have got a lot of love.
Well, I think as everybody takes people pictures.
Yeah.
want to know how that was done.
Me too.
Was that Yellowstone?
About the elk, that was near the Big Thumb in Yellowstone.
Cool. Does this qualify as a people picture?
If we have another category of swine, it will fit that too.
Very quiet.
And if anybody is interested in participating in the final competition of the club year, that will be next month. And the theme for next month's competition is cold.
That was it. This is the last of our people pictures. And now we'll see the winners in a minute or two.
Nice.
Here we go. This is the winner of our People Theme Award. It's Dolly Door by Carl Wilson with 26 points. In the B group, Standard, we have one entrant. He got one honorable mention. It's new member David Heiser, Dreamers, the Roadster Man with 17 points.
Is that with the Raspberry Pi?
And we probably don't have his audio on.
Yeah, it is. All of those work.
Okay. All right.
And he also took the award with 19 points, Dreamers, Fire Wagon Girl. Yeah, right. Now moving up to the A group, we have two HMs. Each of them got 24 points. And we will see it eventually, yeah. Face Matrix by Chris Cassidy.
What's the title?
Face Matrix.
Chris, are you here?
Yeah, how'd you do it, Chris? Pretty cool.
The camera. You hear me? And our second award was Stargazer. Second ACM was Stargazer Fantasy by David Kuntz. We have 2 awards. They both got 26 points. And they're both by Carl Wilson.
The iris flower that I'm looking at is by...
That's mine. That's Stargazer Fantasy. Now you're seeing Spring Tulips by Carl Wilson with 26 points.
Ah, very good.
And finally, it probably takes about 20 seconds to come up, based on what I'm seeing here, will be our second award winner, also by Carl Wilson, also getting 26 points. You've seen it before. It's Dolly Door. And that concludes the recorded section of our broadcast. That was the competition. Thank you to our judges, David Starkman, Susan Pinsky, Lee Pratt. Thank you to Andrew Park and to Eric Kurland for putting together the web-based viewing platform. And thanks to David Richardson for putting together the whole darn GoToMeeting. Steve, back over to you.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Can you see me?
No.
You, who's talking? Well, I don't have my lights on because I wanted to get a nice look at the David, you're still presenting. Actually, well, who's up next? It's David.
How do I unshare? I thought somebody takes it over and then they just kick me off.
Yeah, David, were you going to talk about your camera? And I don't think the only other thing would be, we'll do that, and then we'll have, is there anything else we had scheduled? I think we talked a little bit about your camera, we'll have 3D announcements, and then if David Heiser has anything left, we can have him finish his presentation.
Muted.
Sorry, I muted everybody because of that weird sound. Well, it's back.
I wanted to hear
Unmuted.
Chris and how he did the people matrix.
Okay.
I can
Chris,
unmute.
can you talk about that real quick?
Good old Photoshop.
Okay, we got the answer. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's a collage. I don't know. I made, I've been shooting 3D portraits of people for decades. And I went through my archives and found every possible portrait I could ever find of anybody that I'd ever shot. And then I made a square 1024 pixel square pair aligned in Stereophoto Maker and brought those into a massive Photoshop document that was 9,000 pixels across. I guess it was not 9 by 5 or... Anyway, I tried to fit it all into a 16 by 9 format, so I had that ratio to work with. So I kind of forced everything into 16 by 9, and with square portraits, I ended up with whatever that was. I don't know, 9 by 5 or whatever the matrix was. And then it's just a question of making the two eyes. I put all the left images together, and then made a second layer and put all the right images. So there's 48 faces in there. So I guess I had 96 layers, a Photoshop document with 96 layers. And I just grouped them into the left and right and saved out each half and put it together.
Look fantastic.
Yeah. Nice. Amazing. It was something I sort of dreamed about seeing, and I just wanted to see all those faces together. So it's kind of a thrill to see them all together. There's a bunch of curious people in there. I should probably make some kind of a log or legend and identify the people. There's various famous authors in there and famous scientists and artists, and I don't know, there's some interesting, curious people in there, journalists and people I met at conventions.
So it's like your Sgt. Pepper album cover.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be an album cover. Anyway, it
I
was
was
fun.
going to ask, which version of Photoshop are you using?
An old one, I think 5. I'm pretty retro, CS5 or something.
And how many months did it take?
That's cool. You don't have to pay monthly.
I think it took about 3 days to put that together.
Really?
Yeah, I worked on that for about 3 days.
I bet. Yeah.
Because I had 96, I got 48 pairs, 96 images, a lot of alignment. I use guides in Photoshop. When you use rulers, you can pull out a blue line that's a guide. If you use guides, little temporary alignment lines in Photoshop, the image will snap to the line. It was incredibly time-saving to turn on that snap to feature, because I could bring each of those pictures in close to the line. It would snap into place. So I didn't have to nudge pixel by pixel. By using the guides, it would snap into place. So that was something that saved me a lot of time, using the snap to guides. I made a matrix, a grid, and the pictures snapped to the grid, so that helped. And it helps to be able to cross the eyes on the screen, obviously, when it works.
Very cool, Chris.
Good fun.
You ready for mine? Steve, are we ready to move on?
Yeah.
All right. So.
Yeah, we're ready to move on.
Great. So are you seeing my camera? I'm not seeing if our...
The Insta360 Evo?
Yeah, so, well, I meant, are you seeing my screen here as well? So I'm going to be sharing my screen in just a moment. But this is a camera that I bought last year. It is actually one of those ones that does a 360 where you can actually turn it around. I'll show it in a minute physically in here, but I wanted to be able to just talk about a few things on the screen. Last night we did a run through as a practice on here, and some of the things when we went through it, it was a little jerky, so I thought it would be easier just to be able to have a couple of screenshots. Here's the specs on it if anybody's interested. You can see it's 9 megapixels on each side, so a total of 18 megapixels. And you can see that it does run both photo and video on here. It has a number. I highlighted a number of the main capabilities within the system to be able to just talk about what it has within there. Here's some screenshots. So the entire thing is actually done straight off of your phone. There is actually no screen or anything on the camera itself. I'll show that in a moment. But you actually can control it straight from your phone. So these are some of the controls for still shots and some of the ones for video shots in there. And then this is an image. Here's the difference between what it is that you have within a regular camera and this. I'm pointing down. It's showing a stereo pair here for this. And I'm going to start panning up. Because it is done as a very, very wide angle lens, I can actually move around within the image. So now I'm moving up, and then I'm moving up again, and now I'm seeing the top of this. Now I can also move left and right, and so I'm seeing the left side of the image, and then I'm seeing the right side of the image. So I have the ability to be able to move all over the place. So let me take it out of stereo for just a moment, and we'll see the entire image. This is just one side of it, and this is the entire image. And there's one for the left and the right, obviously, for that. But that's the full size of the image. But when you're viewing it through a headset, which I'll show in a moment in here, that you're able to go in there and you're able to see it in a more realistic 3D than what you would be expecting. It's much different to be able to shoot something from this. So let me turn my camera off here, and let's actually go over and actually, I'm sorry, my screen, not my camera. Turn that one off there, and then let me actually get the camera out. So let me move this out of the way. So this is the camera here. To give you a comparison on how it looks compared to a W3, give you an idea of size. So here is my W3. And you can see the lens is in here, and the comparison between those two, I'm going to get in the right area there. So you can see them. They're about in the same area for that, so it's very close to that. Now, as I'm looking at that in here, where I'm looking at the camera, this one actually has the ability for you to be able to change it, and now it can change into a 3D camera, I'm sorry, 360 camera, where it would view in every direction. So I can change it to be able to view so that it would operate as a stereo camera, and it will do a 180 stereo, so it will do everything in front of you, or that I can flip that around and then have it so that it views it. You notice as I look at this here, here's the back of it. Let me bring it up to the camera there. You notice that it has nothing on the back. Really, the only thing there is just 2 buttons on the top to be able to control it. So very, very simple to be able to do it. When you get it, it does come with a little tiny tripod. It's a little, if I can get it in the right area there, a little monopod thing that opens up, and then you can attach this to the camera so that you can hold it, because otherwise it's a little difficult to be able to hold just by itself. And trying to shoot alone, it'd be a little difficult. So in here, if I look at that, now I can hold it there. I also have some taller ones that I actually purchased with it as well to be able to do that. But now then, if I go ahead and turn this on, it will make a Wi-Fi connection from there straight into the into my phone, and then I can actually view it on the phone and set it up from there to be able to run it. So it makes it very easy for me to be able to control it and to be able to actually set up my shot in advance. But when you go to view it, what you want to do is you want to view it through a headset. Should have opened these up, I thought I had. So you want to view it through a VR type of headset is the best way to be able to do it. So you want to get one of the VR headsets that you put on. When you're putting these on, then as you look up and look down, it will actually move around inside of the image, and you really feel more like you're there than you do within a typical 3D shot, because you're setting up a typical 3D so that it's viewing just what it is that you have and that you want to be able to see, but this allows you to be able to see so much more, as I was showing you in the example where I could see what was to the left and right, what was above, what was below, so you're seeing much more outside of the image. So it just gives you a much different view from that. So that's actually what I wanted to be able to share, was a different type of stereo experience of being able to view a stereo that is a VR compatible one, so to be able to do it from there. So questions, anything that I can answer from here for you guys?
Most people's microphones are turned off, so if your mic is off, turn it on if you want to ask a question.
David, I bought one of those last year and eventually sold it because I got fed up with the fact that you had to view it through the headset all the time. Although now I've bought a Quest, I probably should have kept it.
Yeah, the Quest would make it a lot easier for that. And when that you're using it, you can take the image and you can crop it down, because it does make a regular stereo pair. You can crop it down and then view it normally for that.
I wish you'd told me 8 months ago, or whenever it came out.
But the image is actually terrific in how much it gets in there. What I like about it is that it's a different type of stereo experience. What I don't like about it is that I can't get something in a more traditional type of a layered structure, because it wants to be able to do, you know, everything in the image. So it does such a wide shot. It's very, very different to be able to do that on there. Still presenting the image a lot.
Jim Harp here. Question. I'm curious if you could talk a bit more. I have one of these cameras. I absolutely love it. One thing that's frustrating is if you've taken a lot of images looking at them, for example, with an iPhilus Go or Quest, there's a very limited amount of memory you can put them in. I've been having a hard time finding a good solution to be able to, if the iPhilus Quest or Go would let you put a USB drive into it, it'd be perfect, but it can't. I'm just curious if you found a solution to that problem.
So I'm viewing it through my Samsung S10, and it's actually using that. It uses the Gear VR headset for that, and so I have maybe 200 or 300 images loaded into my camera. I loaded a 250 gigabyte SD card into my phone, and then I'm just playing them through there. So I have almost unlimited space. Well, not unlimited, but I have a lot of space available for that.
Whoever was asking that question about the Quest, you could always use Pegasus or Skybox, and a local network, and you can have unlimited storage. It works very
No,
well.
it doesn't work. I've tried it. It's too high bandwidth. These are huge video files. They stutter. I mean, I believe me, I've tried it. I've tried a lot of things. What I'm currently using is an Oculus Rift S into a PC where I'm using Vive video player, and that works fine. It's just unfortunate, you know.
I found it all right.
That's not that much money.
5 gigahertz.
Have you tried using the test through the Oculus Link to the PC?
No, I just use it on Wi-Fi, the 5 gigahertz part of the Wi-Fi band, and it works quite well.
Yeah, I tried it. I'm just working on it.
You can watch 3D movies on it quite easily.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, these are very high bandwidth.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Other questions, other things? That's all I had. I don't know if there's any other questions. Otherwise, I'll just go back over to Steve and see where we want to go.
Well, I just wanted to mention the camera does amazing time lapse.
Yeah, I haven't actually tried some of it, but I've played. I mean, I've actually watched some that others have done, and it does have some amazing
Yeah, it's a
things that
blast.
it can do.
Very easy.
What's the cost range of that camera?
So that one is a little over 400 for that one.
What's the name of it again?
Insta360. I'll post the link to it.
And you need
There's
two
a
of them.
new one, isn't it?
No, you
There's a
don't need
new one that's.
I put the link. I put the link in the comment in the chat.
Thank you, Eric.
Isn't there a new one that's got a 1-inch Leica lens?
So there is a new one on there. I
Yeah.
did take a look at that one. When you're looking at the 1-inch one in there, there's a 3D mod for that. Let me see if I can find it and bring up the page for that. The one where it has the 3D version of that, it looks like it's using the same lens. All the specs that I've read use exactly the same specs that are on this camera. I don't really see any advantages if you're using it for 3D to be able to go to the 160R or the Insta360R, which is their latest one in there. I don't see any advantages to it from a 3D perspective. There are other advantages. It has some waterproof capability, it has some other things that it can do. I'm not saying that it's not a better camera, but from quality-wise, that it's essentially the same in there for that.
Did you mention something about it being 1 inch? Is that the sensor being 1 inch?
I mentioned it's the new one. That's the new Leica.
New Leica?
Yeah, it's the same mob, the same group. Mob, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about. The same group that make the Evo make this new one, and it's supposed to be allowing a 1-inch Leica pair, but I've not seen it actually working, and they still rely on the smaller one that you're talking about as a pair, similar to the Evo 360.
Okay. I haven't, I mean, I've heard of Leica and I've only just done a tiny bit of reading about it, so I'm not too familiar, but would it maybe be better in low light?
I don't know. I don't know.
It does have the ability, and this is actually it. You're seeing it on the screen now. This is the 1-inch version for that. For this, when you look at this one, it has a really large lens on there for that. But when you go to be able to see it for the stereo version on this, let me see if I can find it on here. I did find it, but it was it's really difficult to be able to find, and I haven't actually seen any way to actually be able to order it for that one. So the one that I have,
I think it's lost in the supply chain. It's unobtainium. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, I went to the Consumer Electronics Show in January in Las Vegas, and I stopped by the Insta360 booth. They were not announcing a release date for it yet, as they had one mock-up of the twin lenses together,
right?
But they had no literature on it there.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that it's come out yet. I mean, when you see it, let me see if I can find it on here real quick. They have one picture of it, and that it looks kind of, there it is right there. So this is the 3D mount here for this, and you're seeing it that you actually have to build this thing. You actually have to put it together. It's more like a kit. So you put all the various features together to be able to see that. So I don't know what the cost is going to be, but you purchase each of these individually for that. So I'm assuming that it's going to be a little more expensive to be able to put that together than what it is that I have for the Evo, where it's already put together. You don't have to do anything, and you just take it. Now, there may be some other advantages, but if you look on here, the one over here on the left, this is using the, actually this is not the 1-inch lens, but the ones that are on here for the stereo, these are not 1-inch lenses for this. The 1-inch lenses are actually a larger lens, and these are the same quality lenses, and everything that I've seen on there, these are the same quality and the same lenses that are actually on my Evo, so there'd be no difference in quality or performance in here. There may be some other advantages. You can have a longer battery life, it's waterproof, it has a number of other things on there, but from quality standpoint, it's going to be exactly the same as it is on the Evo, and this one technically is actually not even available yet, so there's some other advantages, just being able to do it straight with the Insta360 Evo at the moment for that.
Okay, hi everybody, this is Steve, can you hear me? Yeah, I think it's we're kind of running against that window. I think the church parking lot is pretty loud.
Can you help us put the chairs away? Please put your chair away before you leave, though.
So everybody, thank you for coming. David Heiser, if you want to set up, we can set up another Zoom chat or whatever. Let us know, and we'll kind of finish your thing. But we're only going to go an hour and a half, and I think we're over that. So, anybody else? Any comments? Anything before we turn it off?
Well, after the meeting, we're having our usual seminar in Pasadena.
Yeah.
Go to Dupars.
No, I think we're all ordering hamburgers to be delivered to our homes at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, I just say thank you for setting this up. Thank you for setting this up.
You're welcome.
Can I say it was really good to from a distance from Melbourne. I really enjoyed it, and watching the slideshow on my passive monitor. One of those trick photography ones, the fellow in the front and the face at the back was just brilliant, I thought. On the passive monitor, so I really enjoyed it. If you do it again, I'll be coming along.
Can I mention something about that? Steve, can we clarify, will that page be left there for a while so people can go back and look at the slides?
Yeah, it'll be there. I don't know, we may add the winners. Sorry about that. We could add the winners to the, who the winners are.
That would be nice.
That would be up to, who put that together? I think it was Eric. Eric, can you do that? Eric Kerman? Okay.
Falling asleep.
Eric? I'll check with Eric later.
I think, he's right
Eric.
there. He's muted.
How are you getting?
I got a
your
weird
display
microphone.
to
Can anybody
be
hear me?
Busy guy.
It's all
gonna
lean out
ask-
the screen.
I think everybody's tired, so we'll...
Muted.
Eric is going to ask, how are you getting your display?
Unmuted.
Take a moment to thank you all for your hard work.
I can see you in 3D, Eric Kurland.
Tomorrow we start a new chapter.
It's easy.
Together we will be
Valerie,
able to-
you just ask it to be in 3D, and it's in 3D.
That's very funny.
It's really helpful.
Awesome. I'll work on that for next week or next month.
They're asking the question. But I'll say the Hollywood 3D exhibition will be on this year and probably open on October 1st.
Oh, yeah. Did you hear that, Andrew? Let me mute everybody but Andrew.
Muted.
Andrew, can you unmute yourself?
You got to dig down a little bit. Yeah, the Hollywood 3D exhibition is going to be on again this year, the 60th version of it, and it'll probably open October 1st. We're still waiting to hear back from PSA about details, but that's what we asked for. And the other dates I gave the other day, I don't have them in front of me. I have to look, but they're very close to last year's dates.
Sounds good. Okay, anybody have anything else they want to announce? Okay, same time next month. So we'll have another competition. We can unmute everybody.
Unmuted.
There you go, and then we can hear you all. So we'll have a competition next month.
All right, good night.
Thank you. And, stay. I don't know how long David Richardson will be here.
Hi, David.
I'll leave it open for a few minutes. I'll leave it open until the hour.
Great. Hold the chat. You guys can chat to your heart's content.
If people want to chat, I'll leave it open until at least the top of the hour here.
Does anybody know about these? I got this used off eBay. It came today, and
Yes, the red hydrogen one.
How do you get the pictures in and out of it?
From what I've been hearing about it,
That's function.
yeah, it's got a nice screen, but I think it was really designed for the camera that came with it. It's built in, which has a very small base.
Are you recording any cloud activity?
Yeah, and it's got it on both sides, so it's stereo. It's portrait mode. It's stereo, and on the back it's landscape mode, and they're both UHD resolution. And the I/O is just more than a centimeter there. And but the screen is very interesting because it's stereo in both directions, which I've never seen before. So you can view 3D both ways, portrait or landscape. So what happened to that?
Have you downloaded the 40-page manual?
No, I just arrived today. I just ordered it because I saw it cheap, and I thought, I'll go for it because they don't make them anymore, and the screens are pretty good. They want to be able to show stuff, but I want to get pictures into it from other cameras. I don't know how to do that yet.
Are you on the Tablet 3D group?
No, I'm not in any. Nope.
Well, there's been a lot of discussion there. You should join it.
Tablet 3D group?
Yeah, I'll try and find it and send you a link.
Most of the people there would accept the terms of your offer.
Anybody have a TV on?
The division can invade the shell and get Michelle out there.
Tablet 3D group. I'll look that up.
Yeah, Andrew,
I'm sure I can Google some stuff. I haven't got to it. I just was checking that everything functions properly. And again, it's the battery's dropping pretty quickly already. It's down to 89%. I charged it to 100 before this meeting, and it dropped 10% during this meeting without use. It may be downloading in the background. I don't know, because I hooked it up to Wi-Fi. I did not put a SIM card in it. I don't intend to, but it takes an external. It takes external SD card plus a SIM card. No SIM card. We'll see. I don't know. I mainly, like I said, I bought it as a way to show things on the screen. It's kind of handy size.
Andrew, does it have a USB-C?
Yeah, the charger is USB Charlie. Yes. I can't even find it on my desk.
Muted.
USB.
Right. Okay.
Charger.
So what you need is a USB-C called On the Go. On to go. On the go.
On the go. Writing it down.
And then just connect some removable media of some kind. A thumb drive.
Well, that's what I figured. I'd either use the mini SD, but the cable, the charger plugs into this. And by the way, I did wipe everything down with isopropyl alcohol when I received it. But this is a regular USB 2 or 3 on this end on the charger, so I assume I can hook it up to the computer and transfer, or put things on a micro SD card in here. but I haven't done it yet. And I brought some pictures in via Wi-Fi from SmugMug, and they're there, but I can't do them in 3D. So I don't know how to move. You have to put them in Red Player, I think. I think you'd have to have this specific thing to know what the problems are. It's so I'll keep monkeying around with it.
Andrew, I'll try to find something from Tablet 3D to send you. There have been a lot of discussion about it. I think one problem is it has a lot of its proprietary software, and the Masuji Sudo's 3D steroid I don't think works with it, which is a shame, but there might be some other stereo player that will work, but I'm not sure about that.
Steroid doesn't work? Steroid?
I try it, but I think it doesn't support it.
I downloaded it, but I haven't had a chance to I can't even find it. Yeah, I did download it, but I put it in there, but I haven't brought anything into it yet.
Well, try and see if there's a viewer format that'll work with it, but I'm not sure Stereoscope that program will work or not.
All right, well, we'll see what happens. I got to monkey around with it a little more. It's a little toy, a quarantine toy.
Okay.
Which
and
hydrogen 1.
Yeah. It's just,
hey, I'm back.
Stop making them, so I thought I better grab one before they're gone.
Yeah, they also
okay.
Yeah. Well, it's a whole subject for another day.
Yeah, I have one too. I'm sorry. GoToMeeting had crashed on me, so I missed most of what you were saying. Andy, you had some questions about it?
He couldn't figure out how to get pictures into it.
Well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No. You can. But it uses what it calls 4V. It's a 4-view system. So there's actually a far left, right, and far right. So you can load your own pictures and videos onto it, but you have to give them the right tag.
It's processed first?
No. It's in the naming convention. You have to change the name of the file when you load it on.
So instead of a .jpg, it's a .mv4?
No. It's still the JPEG, but you have to put, I believe it's the name of the file, underscore, and then hold on. I'm gonna open mine up. I'll take a look at what I named the file.
There's a file format called M4V.
No, that's not what it's doing. It's not the file format. It's just the naming convention.
Yeah, because when I open up these images that I brought in from SmugMug's app, they just view side by side.
Yeah, no, it won't know unless you've given it the correct name.
And I have to do that in a computer where I can do that, not in the phone.
No, you can do it on the phone. You just have to go into the file manager and change the name of the file.
Okay. Let's see.
Well, Eric, just email Andrew the information.
You guys can go if you want. I just started monkeying around with the thing.
Okay, I'm just opening it now. I can tell you what you need to call the file. I just need to find one.
And you open it has to be Red Player that you open it with?
Yes.
Yeah, it's an H4V holographic, it says. But then I took H4V and then I touched it up, and now I can't do it in 3D anymore. So I don't know what happened there.
Your photo needs to be side-by-side full resolution, and then change the name of the file to be whatever the name is, underscore 2x1, 2 by 1.
Dot 2 by 1?
No, not dot, underscore. So if your file is called flower, if it's flower.jpg, you would rename it to flower underscore 2x1.jpg.
So it's still a JPEG. Okay, that's very interesting. All right, yeah, I would not have figured that out very quickly. And then what's the best way to get images out if you want to process them, if you shoot on here and you want to put them in Stereo PhotoMaker? I just email them to myself, or just take this memory card out. All right, cool. I got to get a mini SD card, a micro SD card to stick in here. And we'll see how it goes. But it just seemed like a handy viewer because it's auto-stereoscopic. You do not need viewing glasses. And,
how much is that phone now?
Well, I got this for $135. It was used on eBay. I actually saw somebody send a link yesterday. I just happened to notice it because I'm on the computer too much these days. And I went, $135. Ding. That's a good price.
That is a great price. I saw it at Warner Brothers Shape event about a half a year ago, or maybe 3/4 of a year ago, and they were selling for $1,000
or more. I think I thought they started around $1,200 to $1,400, depending on the memory.
Great deal.
Yeah.
Good hunting.
Yeah, and it's in good. It seems to be in good shape. I don't know how you change the battery yet. It seems to be built in. This battery, I don't know how good the battery is yet. That's the thing about used. I don't know how many hours it has. I don't intend to use it as a phone, really. All right, well, Eric, thank you. You solved the...
Well, let me double check that. It works on some, it doesn't work on everything. So that naming convention worked on videos. I'm still having some trouble getting it to work on photos.
Okay.
But you know what? I'll get the details for you and I'll let you know.
That the screen works horizontally and vertically is unique. I've never seen that before.
Actually, the old HTC Evo phone did that too.
Okay.
It worked both horizontally and vertically.
Yeah. Now, the funny thing is, this was supposed to have, with this connection here, some sort of connectivity to Red digital cinema cameras.
They never released the module. No, they never released the module for it.
They totally dropped the support on it. The company put that on, and they never got around to that accessory, and they written it off as a complete failure.
Yeah, it's not even on their website.
Now, there is something pretty interesting, Andy. There's an app. If you haven't downloaded it, you should.
Okay.
They call it HoloPix.
Okay, HoloPix. P-I-X?
HOLOPIX.
All right. HoloPix app. All right.
And this is their online sharing stereo album. So it's kind of like the old Ferio website, but it's for photos